and connect we're praying for them, we have this feeling that the complete feeling of the deficiency of our friends are here with us. We take their deficiency, we pray for them, we feel for them in where neighborhood right, we learn, we study, and the friends unite with confidence that the friends will connect also with confidence, and if one friend is not there and the other friends fight for that friend, and they pray together eventually all the way to the Lord. This is any, we are the sons of the Creator, and we want to be together and only pray for the friend, ask for the friend, feel him want to be in his heart, and come out with an outcry that will open the gates of heaven. Friends, we're continuing with this constant attack against our ego, and we are not going to let our guards down. We constantly want to continue, we want to push and exert until the Creator, until we reach him together. We support you, friends in Israel. You so great, you gave us everything, and you open your homes there, and your hearts, and the light, and everything, and indeed with this example we will continue this attack so big. And go ahead please, says in Shar 72, confidence is the clothing for the light called life. There is a rule that there is no light without a CLE. It follows that the light called the light of lights cannot clothe, but must clothe in some CLE. The CLE where the light of life is clothed, it's usually called confidence. It means that he sees that he can do every difficult thing. Confidence is the clothing for the light called life. There is a rule that there is no light without a CLE. It follows that the light called the light of life cannot clothe, but must rest in some CLE. The CLE where the light of life is clothed is usually called confidence. It means that he sees that he can do every difficult thing. Active workshop. From where do I get confidence on the path? Again, AC workshop. From where do I get confidence on the path? I get confidence on the path from each and everything that we're engaging in here. Truly, if it's from the friends who are directed towards the goal, it's that they talk about the goal. All the writings from Rash and from Rar are in dissemination, actions, or in the service of the society. Anything possible, you come in contact with the light, with the special path, and each time you discover how much it's the truth, whether it matches the will to receive or not. The truth is here in anything that we invest, anything we do, we get confidence from it. Yes, I get confidence from the friends, from the examples of the friends, examples of overcoming, examples of the righteousness of the path. With every word the friends say, and they say it in the right direction, it gives a lot of power, because confidence, the feeling of confidence on the path, it's light, you know, of itself. And so person who places himself in the sources, in the 10, he becomes incorporated, and he's incorporated in that light called confidence. We work on it on a regular basis. On his confidence, we need to strengthen it all the time, again and again. And mostly I think what helps is think about anyone who worked on it, engaged in it, and is engaging in it. That helps to know that many others are engaging in this, that we have great friends that indeed invest their whole life in that. And Rasham, all of the Kabbalists throughout their generations that really worked devotedly to think, they all said, my answer that always gives you parrots from our Creator. Friends, the books, all the sources, the sages, friends speaking about the fact from the Creator, but through their society, a path that connects us to the Creator. This is that Kabbalists have paved for us a way to adhere to the Creator, and the Creator manages everything, and we need to adhere to him. This is our work. Actually, the feeling that I get from the environment is that there is a single force in this reality, and we are directed towards him, and we do everything that is within our power in order to encourage and help and provide this confidence on something. Forgot one way to get confidence on the path. When you try to give confidence, our goal to the friends, by looking for answers in the sources to give to them, support the friends so that feeding the friends, you're feeding on this path. This, you have to absorb it to give it away. Probably the best way we have external confidence from Rob, from Friends. Fern. Examples of friends and their attitude. But then there's true inner confidence. Through the Arat. The Creator connected us here, and He gives us opportunity to be with the friends. Open our hearts and realize this force in this environment that the Creator is giving us, and we make this effort, but always with the help of the friends connected with them, embraced. With them, we will never separate. The Creator is reflected from the internality of this vessel, the world 10. We all support it, and we advance together in the same direction. So with our heart open, go ahead. Bam writes in the AR the impression that comes to a person when engaging in MTV between man and the Creator is completely the same as the impression he gets when engaging in MTV between man and man, since one is obliged to perform all without any hope for self-love, meaning that no light or hope returns to him through his trouble in the form of reward or honor, etc. Here at this exalted point, the love of the Creator and the love of his friend unite and actually become one. Again, the impression that comes to a person when engaging in between man and the Creator is completely the same as the impression he gets when engaging in MTV between man and man, since one is obliged to perform all the mitma without any hope for self-love, meaning that no light or hope returns to him through his trouble in the form of reward or honor, etc. Here at this exalted point, the love of the Creator and the love of his friend unite and actually become one. Question for a silent workshop. Let's connect our hearts until we feel the love of the Creator. Silent workshop. Let's connect our hearts until we feel the love of the Creator. Friends, today in the first part of the lesson we will watch a recorded lesson, a noon lesson from the 24th of February 2025. The length of the lesson is 1 hour and 11 minutes, and then we will continue with a study between the friends. Hello, everyone. Reading selected excerpts from the sources. Continuing the convention with an ascent starting from number 5. You can find the stud material on our websites. Please make sure your phones are off or in silent so not to disturb other friends. We're asking everyone to not make extra noise and not disturb others. We are reading selected sources on the topic. Continuing the convention with an ascent, we read number 5 from Rash writes, the descent he has received is for his own good, meaning that he is receiving special treatment, that he was lowered from his state where he thought that he had some wholeness. This is apparent in his agreeing to remain in the current state his whole life, but now that he sees that he is far from spirituality, he begins to think, what is really required? Me, what should I do? What is the purpose I should achieve? He sees that he has no power to work and finds himself in a state of between heaven and earth. Then man's only strengthening is that only the Creator can help, but by himself he is doomed. Said about this, yet those who hope for the Lord will gain new strength, meaning those people who hope for the Creator. This means that they who see that there is no one else the world who can help them regain strength each time. It follows that this descent is actually an ascent, meaning that this descent that they feel allows them to rise in degree, since there is no light without a plea, means every time when a person feels that he is exactly in the descent, he has to change his force, replace his force that the Creator thinks for his own good. A person has to listen to the voice of the Creator both during the time of ascent and exactly during the time of descent. This way he becomes more connected to the Creator both in sense and descends until he merits that everything comes to him from the Creator, and he advances like this. Any shot? No questions? There are some. Okay. No. To continue the morning lesson may ask no already. No, a little later instead of a this article yes or in. What does it mean to hear the Creator's voice during descent? That you can believe in this more, but during the time of the descent you have to be connected to the Creator, and this is not simple. Although if he tries to be with the Creator exactly during this moment, the time of the descent will serve him as a force of ascent, and he will reach the state where when the Creator will replace his force, when this force of descent that he feels will turn into the force of ascent, and this is how a person exits the descent and continues in ascend. And what does it mean to be to try to be with the Creator during a descent? During the descent, to be with the Creator is when whatever is happening with the person, the descent itself, and whatever he thinks about the forces that bring him to this, he thinks about all the states, all the components of the state of descent. He eventually at the end, he thinks that what he has to what he needs is merely not to separate from the upper force, to hold on to it with all his might. Can I do not get confused during a descent and understand that you're hearing the Creator's voice? Yes, so what's the question? How not to get confused during a descent and understand the hearing is the Creator's voice. Man is always close to the Creator despite the fact that he cannot always tell himself that that's imagine to himself that this is the way it is, and therefore the author tells us here of that whatever seems to us a descent can in actuality be an ascent, and the other way around, where we imagine this as an ascent, it can be exactly a descent. And exactly during the time of ascends or descends, we have to pay more attention towards our attitude to our state. Where do our states come from, and how we are meant to be built up with this actions and forces? Therefore it's written, whoever brings the person down, it's for it's in order to replace the force for the to invoke the desire in the person to ascend, and the other way around for a person to understand that not necessarily an ascend comes from the Creator, but also a descend. So both of them is one, and the other, both of them come from the Creator in order to receive, in order to reveal the true state of a person. Teacher, is such a state possible? I don't hear anything such a state possible when a prayer stops being a separate action. Sure, again, is such a state possible when prayer stops being a separate action? More maybe how to be in constant service rather than request. We need try and be always adhered to their Creator, despite all kinds of changes seen to us as good or bad at times, but rather perceive them all is coming from one direction, influence in us, and then we will understand him faster. The tastes of greatness and dust, are they one against the other, opposite one another? Taste of greatness and I wouldn't say that it has to be exactly this way, because the Creator wants to raise us, and therefore he gives us all kinds of states, and we have to hold on to them as if with their help we're always coming closer to him. If we try to hold ourselves this way, we will feel after certain amount of actions from the Creator's side like this, we will feel that we truly are coming closer to him, we are accepting him, we are understand him. And this the outcome summary of all the sense and descent. Can we say that the 10 is that blessed place where there is always this balance and freedom of choice to choose the Creator? Always you have to open your mouth wider, otherwise I cannot hear. To always be on the Creator side. The 10 is this, certainly this blessed place where choose freely. I didn't understand. She's asking, can we say that the 10 is that blessed place that exists always in balance and in free choice to choose the Creator? That's right. Thank you very much for the opportunity had to go from a state of gratitude. How do we switch to prayer and ask for more? From a state of gratitude to pray and ask for more. Well, it's not only natural. If we wish to get closer to the Creator, we have to ask him exactly in the states that we find ourselves in, striving towards. So we need this. What can more? Yes. What does it mean to the Creator in this sense? To hold on to the Creator into the sense is, when it absolutely not important to you how you treat the Creator. It's important maybe how He treats you. That's what you have to pay attention towards. Yes, we pay attention to this when there's a descent, when there's and there are friends. How do I pay attention to His attitude to me and not the state that's happening? Now it depends on how you evaluate yourself. Are you helping the Creator with through this to reveal Himself in the world, or no, if you do help Him reveal Himself in the world, and that's the most important thing to you, then you make Creator closer to you, or you become closer to the Creator yourself. So pay attention to this. Yes, to continue question, I'd like to clarify to hold on to the Creator during death. Sense, can we hold on to the 10 to the friends? Hold on to friends, of course you can, but still it's an intermediary state. You have to switch from it towards the Creator, because when there's a descent, as I understand, you feel that your whole life takes you away from the only means we have is the friends, the 10 meetings, lessons, and everything we dissemination. Everything, it's enough if you collect it all together and you perceive it as received from the Creator. Then from this you are able to extract from this great forces. So we have to sustain the faith. Yes, that it's truly the only thing that works to support state, general state. Yes. Okay, wow, what is going on with the women? Let's start with the left wing. Left side drawer to continue what the friend saying. It's unclear if the descent is given to me for personal work or it's for the work in the T. So the whole 10 is given this state. So should a person turn to the 10 to not to have the opportunity to work in this moment? That is correct. This question exists, is valid. A person has to address the 10, address the Creator in order to connect them together through himself. And when he will feel that he succeeds in this, then he has to switch over to the next procedure, basically act this way. And the next procedure is when he already is striving to identify himself inside of the Creator. Another question, if I may, how do I know if I'm helping? It depends on your constant desire. If you constantly wish to feel the Creator help him, then eventually you will be given this opportunity. So it's similar to when we try to help each other, and we also want to help the Creator. Thank you very much. Yes, lady, when we did all these actions and gratitude, Kabbalists say that we need to have confidence that the prayer has been accepted. How is this action done? This confidence, how do we acquire confidence? It depends on what kind of light comes down on the person from the Creator to demand, to ask, to feel need in this what the person has to exert, and gradually this light will come to him. This feeling that the Creator is with him, with inconstant and good connection. Is this action similar to raising the general heart to the Creator? Well, you can say yes, but it's not a true assent. Yet okay, man goes through states of ascents and descents. Yes, and there is a notion intention. This is the trigger of in our inner work. What's the rule of intention of a person that helps him to come out of the state of descent into ascent? Intention is very simple, is a basically person who wishes to merit to be closer to the Creator. He wants from all of his opportunities he chooses such that would get him closer to the Creator. So he uses any state as the correct force to get closer to the Creator. Yes, and he holds on to this axis. Yeah, thank you. Wow, what is going on there? What work should we do throughout the day? Holding on to the inner connection with the T. You're increasing your connection with the Creator based on those connections that is getting revealed between. You understand correctly that the descent can be in lack of connection with the 10, and also when there can be a descent. When there is a connection, the states that come from outside, there is a problem with them, and Then with the 10 we solve this problem. Yes, thank you. Okay, no. We are, is there a general excuse me, is there a general feeling of the Creator? Or that He's with me in the descent? Or the ascent, or can we somehow point closer that He's with me? No, despite the fact that this holding and the Creator is relatively once more of you. Question about the feeling of the Creator, something general, something that accompanies me on the path in the sense, or is this some precise thing focused in sense? It's both, but is it like faith or like, is it like but or like a sensation? This is a sensation feeling, but not burning, not a burning one. It's more quiet, more calm, tough. Yes, no. We have a young 10 and there's a feeling that we have advanced really strongly during the month preceding the Congress. At the same time, a feeling is often invoked in us that in order to execute a serious leap forward can only occur in case that a certain extreme situation would occur similar to you describing us taking care of your teacher for a couple of months. I don't know, maybe it has to be a never-ending Congress 3 months long, or what's the one opportunity to advance forward? What can I do with this feeling? And maybe we can create certain conditions for an extreme situations, like for an extreme situation like this to truly occur. Extreme situations, they can appear in every moment and without any special events, no. But we should understand that whoever wants to enter this space vessel's lights degrees, this happens to the one who makes effort, who prays, so asks the Creator in spiritual advancement. So I'm asking you not to neglect this. I haven't seen anyone that could say with absolute certainty that the what he received from above happened without any effort on his part. No, this depends on, I would say at least on 90% depends on the person himself. The rest the Creator adds. Thank you to continue on this point that you have said, that it depends on 90% on the person. We have read that only the person, that only the Creator can help, otherwise I'm lost. How does a person come to a place where he only lives in the state where only Creator can help him? He makes every possible effort throughout a long time, and he sees that he's not successful in advancing himself, and then prayer, a request, a cry to the Creator. What are you doing with me? Why are you doing this to me? What do I have to do so you advance me? So this 90% is this what is going into calculation with the person. What does the Creator value in the person? The Creator values a prayer in a person, a prayer to the Creator on the man's part, and when by this he covers all the types of interactions between him and the Creator, how does a person start to exist out of their prayers? I would say that this follows from the Creator again and again, gives a man the opportunity to turn to him. Just that you have started the lesson from saying that the Creator is always close to the person. We have to hear him in the descends and the ascends, so it's as if everything depends on the prayer, and it's the hardest to exalt it, to make it go out. So how do we come to a place where the Creator would lead the person to pray? The fact that the person reveals, thanks to his request to the Creator, that he really wants to enter contact with him and expects it. He's waiting for it, and he doesn't know what else he can do. From this the Creator brings a man to a state where he sees that he is lost, he disappeared. If the Creator doesn't take him out of the state, exactly this point, that without the Creator he cannot come out of the state to you he fell into. And this is the true start we have to reach. I have noticed that in a state of descent or certain obstacles, I ask the Creator for help. There's a certain point of realizing our own evil. It basically comes clearly, it's mine, and then there's a different plea to correct this, yes, and then the answer of the Creator is heard. Is it a regular state? Is it always? Does it always happen? Yes, so how do I hasten it? Then because long struggles and the descent to reach the fact that it's my evil inclination. Here are there any I don't know advices to on how to haste in. To haste in it I can only say one thing. This is to yearn for the point of connection between man and the Creator. From every state a man is going through, from every state, because all these states we eventually get them from the Creator only with one goal, so that in this point, that is that He reveals in us so that we would you discover the Creator. Thank you, dear teacher. When you've been asked questions by your students according to the article, such deep questions in order for me to reach question like this I would need at least 10 years if I will try to join them to ADH, to them to their question the way they want to delve into the article and what they want to hear. Fern, you will I be able to hasten the times? No doubt that you will be able to. Normal yes, near normal no. No yes. Well, if in the state of the descent a person does not address the Creator, is there no bigger, is there no more search of the Creator? What does one do in such a state? In the state of the descent, the person who does not search for the Creator, because he doesn't see that only the Creator can help, how can you turn the state and eventually start looking for Him? I think that if a person studies with us according to our sources, this our connection, what we say, then in a relatively simple way, reaches unity with everyone. One cannot say that this comes in one go to everyone, but it comes quickly. This comes quickly. No. Yes, thank you very much. A moment to scrutinize a state, to reach a state where only the Creator can help me, and between my 10 you have answered to one of the friends that a 10 can be that balanced place that is connected to the Creator at all times. Are there certain conditions that have to be preset in the 10 in order to achieve that, or it only depends on my relation? Depends only on your attitude to them. So, how do I connect my desire to be connected with the Creator in over situation and between my attitude towards the 10 you want to connect them together, and from this by this I will perform an action similar to the Creator? Yes? No? Well, dear teacher, here's a question. How do I emotionally not to fall into states? They can be good, and there's joy and happiness, and they can be heavy. They can move you away from the past, give you all kinds of thoughts, heavy thoughts. I want to adhere to the source and always look for it, but sometimes emotions lead me astray. What? Yes, how do I adhere to the source in a moment like this? We have to understand what the source wants and strive towards these deaths with our desires, and then we'll succeed. Thank you, but you have to practice this. Train in this. You have to train. Will a moment come where the emotions will stop being stronger, stop winning over emotion? No, the motion will always be above, on the surface, will always play you trick, you play with you. It's not simple. I advise you to this will be of course not perfect, but I suggest you read more as much as possible in your language that's closest to you, and you'll begin to understand what B and Rash really want to say. Thank you. No question of a friend in 10. We were in the Congress, and we have received immense impression from the connection. We have experienced a great ascent, and now we came back home. Inside, the impressions are burning, but something has changed, refreshed the force of our 10 in the new conditions after the Congress. In order to truly achieve true ascent to the Creator, I would advise you to be in a correspondence between the T, but that's and try to rise constantly. We have a considerable spiritual society, mainly it's you. There are 20-30 people that didn't come for whatever reason. So right, join us, get closer to us, and we help each other. Any difficulty in our advancement? Clear, thank you. Okay. Nice. No? Well, I'm being tortured by a question. There are no safe places on Earth. There are no safe spaces on Earth. After a couple of years, India will go. Underwater, no. No scientists, they forecast a big earthquake in Turkey and the climate problems are accumulating. Yes, humanity is doomed to its demise. No, even if you really want to, this wouldn't happen. He will make us, he will compel us to toy even more in order to influence, positively influence our future. Ascent, where are you from? I live in Dubai. From Dubai, but that's not your constant place, it's constant. I live there for 12 years in Dubai. Okay, well, this is good. What will be with the people who don't study Kabbalah? They will find their demise as dinosaurs, or will they ascend? Eventually they will die out. Mainly they will yearn for the goal of creation, one or the other. So our task is to influence this via our dissemination. Absolutely right, thank you, Rara. I want to come back to the question of communication between the tens. I have heard from you that we will come back, and you one has to, we have to help the tens. How exactly? Except for a correspondence, I don't know what other way there is apart from writing a to one another. You can meet somewhere once a year in a neutral place, and you'll have another convention. So the task is to mix up and look for ways to connect, yes, to rub on each other. The men aren't asking questions. It's all clear to them. Well, woman, the thank you, dear R.A. Follow-up question to Marin about the evil inclination. I heard you say that we need to yearn for the point of connection with the greater. Is it enough to yearn for that point of connection to correct the evil inclination, my negative attitude that comes up, or do I need to ask specifically for correction? You have to ask for correction. You have to ask for correction. And is there a way to know when the evil inclination has been corrected? No, this only depends on you. To hello, dear, the article, it just said that you hear the voice of the Creator in descent more than in an ascend. That the ascend is felt as the congress that has occurred. I'm scrutinizing, should I my environment? I tend to work in such a way that the measure of our effort would be bigger than during the ascent, the feeling of the Creator more than during the convention, the congress. And it's as if the congress right now is such a big bar for me that I am unable to reach in my personal work, but based on this article it is possible. So I'm asking, how do I do this? It's impossible to yourself. This is only possible if others, the majority of others sitting here, agree with you, and you want to achieve some spiritual event together. Is it a certain new agreement between us, or is it this is not a new agreement, it's an old agreement, but you have to realize it in action. So basically we're continuing the work in the 10 in the same way, just on the different level. Yes? No? So tell me please, during the last lesson of their congress, when in group of 6 people were sitting in front of us, of our teachers sitting in front of us, we here in the hall have felt that they have such richness, that all they have is as all this richness is as all this wealth. So I have a question in our dissemination: do we also have to radiate the same, or is it enough for them to have reached this level and we feel this is not enough? This will be enough only in the case that only if you achieve such connection between you, in which all the yearnings for connection, for unity will, so we have to come into similarity of forms with them. Yes? No? Hello, I have a question like this: if I always feel gratitude, effort, and gratitude, effort, and gratitude, does this mean that my love is happy and my and the Creator is enjoying this? Thank you very much for letting me ask. Are the process of descent itself, it's a revelation from me of sorts, right? All of a sudden I have found that I'm doing n of work somewhere, and I need to exert more effort to understand how far I'm from the Creator. What kind of help does the concealment provide me? In the state the revelation reveals your true state of connection with the Creator. So strive towards the connection with Him. I want to express such a big gratitude towards you for your care, for your internal strength, for that finally you are with us. Big bow to you. We have to end, and we have to say Today a lot of friends are from the world CLE are leaving their return to the countries to their groups. What is important to us at this point, this period that is in front of us, it is important to us not to forget that we are united and have to reveal the connection between us in practice, and the Creator will finish for me. It is written, okay, I was happy to again see men, women, most of whom I am familiar with personally, and let's hope that we will see each other when in May there's a big congress here, and in a lot of world's places in the world. There will be a lot of meetings in Europe, in Americas, in Israel. We will still announce it, and before that we also have holidays. We have that will help us be together in for a long period of time, and the most important is we have morning lessons. With you we have afternoon lessons conducted by the friends. We will start the broadcasts in the evening. We'll have constant connection in the evenings, Rob says, and then on Saturdays, yes, Saturdays too, don't forget. Okay, it's clear to us, right? I am here in this building, in this place. Whoever wants to see me can see me every day or through our website. Basically, we already are on our way towards Lishma. There's nothing that is in our way, but what is standing on our way is inside of us, and we will break it. Okay, say that I basically embrace every single one of you. Okay, let's summarize what we heard in this part of the Half A workshop. What did we hear from love in this lesson? We heard that all the states sense the sense, especially the sense, come to us directly in order to increase the yearning to reveal the Creator, and in the end we need a prayer. Because the create, one of the main things I heard out of one state which tied into our meeting that Karen was talking importance, and it depends on us, and so I wrote down the question, is it more important to me to be persistent and persistent mutual support? How much the Creator, much important he is to me to do it. That was the main thing I heard that really stuck out to think about. Important, which direction am I the one that's important to the Creator, or is he the one that's important? General prayer, that's the first thing. Let's start out. Me to be persistent, of course, what our friend said, and the addition of the summary of the lesson of Rav that we're on the way to, and what's bothering is inside of us, and we will demolish it. That's it. Where we're aiming, and we will do all that the friend said we will do. In the beginning, he was saying about the sense. I wrote a few senses that a person has to remember, in the sense that the Creator does everything for him not to separate from the upper force, and the descent to hold on to him with all your forces needs the essence and the descents, and they come to bring a person to his true state. So in general was a very strong lesson. We have to take all these changes that come to us, that they are coming from one direction, and we can understand the Creator. You help him, open him to the world, and that's the most important to you. Through that you come closer to the Creator, you bring him closer, and by that you come closer to him. Also, what A was asking, that if a person makes the efforts and sees that he succeeds, so true prayer can come. Why are you doing this? Help me, and so on. Alex, yes, repeat the sentence you said. If you're helping the Creator be revealed in the world or not, if you're helping him be revealed, and that's the most important thing to you, then you're bringing him closer to you, and by that, bring him to yourself, to him. Another 1 year asking and demanding to feel necessity. This is what a person means, and he will gradually feel the sensation that the Creator is in a good and connection. I never saw a person at can say that he got spirituality from above, and not from his own efforts. 90% at least depends on a person's efforts, and the Creator adds the rest. Person does all kinds of efforts and see that he's not able to help himself. Advance, and then a prayer and a cry to the Creator. What are you doing with me? Why, what can I do for you to advance me? Creator considers prayer as exertion. By this, the Creator covers all the relationships between them. It comes from the fact that a person gets an opportunity to turn to him again and again. A person discovers that by his Please, the creator wants to come into contact with him and is expecting it and doesn't know what else to do from that. The creator brings a person to the goal when he sees he's lost and the person can't take him out that point, that without the he can't come out. That is the first point he has to reach. Thank you to add there was something that was said, that it's the effort of a person that needs to participate in the exertion and labour to attain the goal. It's not just something that comes from above. It's true that everything comes from above, but the effort of a person is necessary, most important thing before us. Now keep the contact with the Creator, not to lose it no matter which states, and we need in the 10 to be concerned of those conditions that all friends in the 10 will have that secure place that will constantly remind them every moment about the connection with the Creator. Turn to him to demand, to ask, the scrutinize, not to lose the connection. Yes, correct. We'll continue to strengthen the 10 for everyone to have the place to continue in the exercises and trainings and everything that we need to give. If we remember, like he says, one way or another, we need to put forth the labour and the efforts we can't get away from. That mostly we exert in the right place and not we'll try. We have work, that is, it's not that. It's not just that simple, it's special. But actually simple, there's not too many complications here except for just simply persist and to try. For this we have to want to support each other and supply the spiritual feeling to one another, all in all. If we each one their time, we know that this common force has to be kept for the 10 for the friends that in the states where the Creator lets them turn to him every time, like Alex quoted, that we're taking advantage of these states in the right way. It has to be a common force, a group force that we hold each other, not to get confused. We have an opportunity to implement this, and we add that to the general package of our common work and will succeed. Yes. So part of the summary is that through all the corrections of the Creator, and we owe that is to his benefit, our sages tell us that he simply wants us to be adhered to. We have a sensation that without him, we won't be able to succeed at all, so we carry that with us, the essence, the sense. Because he wants us to be with him, and he loves us. Last thing I've mentioned was the connection and the concern for all the 10s in the world, especially now for the Congress, a lot of states. Thank God, and we have to think about one another and to be concerned that nobody is disconnected.